Hi, it's Daryl again. Last weekend I took a trip up to Palmerston North to have a look at the new highway that's being built. It cuts across from Ashhurst to Woodville and it replaces the Gorge Road, which got wiped out by a giant slip. There's quite a lot of slip hazards in this area, which is what the sign is about. Anyway, as you can see, there's just a lot of cranes there. They're building this new bridge. There's two bridges right at the start of the project. There's this one that just goes across the river. It's going to have three piers, and I'm not quite sure of the design, but it's going to have a cycle path and a walking path, and there's going to be a cycleway and a walking way along the whole route. But it looks as if the road is being designed so that the running speed of the road will be 100 kilometers per hour or 80 kilometers per hour all the way through, as opposed to the old road that you can see was gravelled over in that. See this view here? See that gravelled over part? They gravelled over it when they started the project to stop people driving on the road, because the rest of the road doesn't exist properly because it got destroyed in a landslide, and they fenced it off. I think there's always been a gate fencing off the road. They could close it because it was quite common for there to be slips. I saw a car that got very badly damaged by a slip once, right ahead of me just before I was driving through. A car had a giant rock smash it, and people were unhurt, luckily. But the rock probably weighed a ton, and the car was a write-off. That's a very odd. That was a very odd thing. The rock was about as big as one of these rocks here, so you can imagine that thing smashing into the bonnet of your car and ripping the engine out of your car if you're driving along. It wasn't very pleasant. It's a weird story. Anyway, so I toddled up here and had a look, and you can see there's quite a good view there. Now this is a temporary bridge, and that's being put there for people to get access into the worksite. And see, there's I guess it's called a coffer dam, or there's another word for that, a technical word, I can't remember. They're building the pier inside that dam. There's pumps running here to pump the water out of the enclosure. Anyway, I took a bit more of a walk. It was quite near sunset, so it's very pretty. So I just think this video is very pretty if you're into looking at some pretty landscape. Most of the rest of this video is just pretty scenery shots. There's this tourist information area here. The walkway is still open. You can't go on all of the walkway, but I think you can take the walkway up the hill to overlook the gorge. The gorge is very pretty, and now there's no traffic in the gorge. It's really amazing. I saw some birds, some ducks and things down in the valley, and it's nice and quiet because there's no cars there. There is a railway line on the other side of the railway, on the other side of the gorge, but this railway doesn't carry that many trains. I think it's just got goods trains running through it, and it's probably only a few trains per day. I'm not really certain, but I didn't see any trains when I was there. There's not too much train transport through the gorge as far as I know. Now the railway is on the north side and the existing road is on the south side, so the railway is safe from the landslides. All the landslides seem to happen on the southern side. This view, I'm looking north. I'm on the southern side of the river for these views. Yeah, as you can see, it's just beautiful, kind of nice autumnal colours, late late in the year, late in the season, kind of late in the day, pretty views. It's just a thing about building the road. So they cut a bit out of the barrier there, so you can walk up the trail a bit further and have a look. And then there's a walking path that goes up the hill. I didn't go up the walking path. I was so late in the day that I wanted to get as many images as I could before the sun set. There we go. Completed in 1926, so the road is about 100 years old. This is one of the few places in the world where a river runs through a mountain range. We've got what is it? Is it the Tararua Mountains to the south that go down to Levin, and we've got the Ruahine, just from memory, Ruahine Mountains on the northern side. So on the other side of the river, that's the Rohini Mountains. And the river flows from the Wairarapa over, this is the Manawatū River, flows over to Foxton and then out to sea. The river snakes around on the plains near Shannon and Levin. All of the area near Shannon and Levin is just barely above sea level. If we had sea rise, the land between Foxton and Shannon and Levin would turn into a big estuary, even with just like about 1 or 2 meters of sea level rise. So that's a bit interesting. Here's a property tip: buy some houses in Shannon for a seaside residence. If the ice caps melt and the sea goes up, you'll be able to buy a house by the beach. That's not a serious suggestion. It's quite interesting. I'm kind of interested in the geology, so I've kind of been understanding the layout of all of the thing, and it's pretty clear to see that if you visit Shannon, you can see how the hills at the side of Shannon are actually got coastal erosion on them, even though they're about 10 kilometres inland. You can see that that area used to be by the beach. Could be river erosion as well as coastal erosion, but these things sort of look the same to me. You can see there's some birds flying around down there. Yeah, it's real pleasant and really quiet down there. I presume in winter that can be a big river. You can see, here's a bit where there's a bit of a slip. So you can see they went through all this effort over the last decade or so, reinforcing, or maybe 2 decades, reinforcing all of this, but still these giant boulders fall down. This is the reason why this road is fully closed now. This isn't the major slip. The major slip's further up, behind these fences there. I didn't go up there. But further up, I don't know how far it is. Could be an hour's walk. Might be 10 minutes walk. There's the giant slip that took out the road. A lot of the road is on kind of piles and spans. But you see, late in the day, it looks pretty. What else can I say about the bridge? So the bridge goes across the river, and then as soon as I think that the bridge will be built on an angle, so that it will be going, as you go across the bridge, you'll be gaining altitude, and then you'll gain altitude on the other side and go across another bridge. This is under one of the existing road bridges, because there was this walkway. It's closed off, you can see now. But this was how you get to this. There was a very interesting walk where you go under the road and then up the valley. You can see it's a pretty little valley with a stream in there. And you can look at the style of these. This looks like an old construction style to me, but this is what was supporting the highway above. So furthermore, back to the new road. So you'll go across the bridge over the river, you'll be gaining altitude, then you'll go across a bit of land, and then you'll go onto another bridge, because there's sort of a bit of not a valley, but I don't know what it is, a wetland or a depression on the other side, and you want to be gaining altitude the whole time. So there's another bridge. So you go across one bridge, then across the second bridge, and then you will have gained quite a lot of altitude, maybe 5 or 10 meters by that stage. And then you'll continue going up onto the plateau. Now, it looks like the running speed of the bridge is, normal highway speed, or 80 kilometers per hour. And this will make the trip about 11.5 minutes if you're driving by a car. And I think the current trip is about 22 minutes if you're driving on the twisty, windy road, the Saddle Road, which is the alternative road to this, which all the traffic is taking at the moment. If you go further south down to, what's it called? Acautri, I think it's what it's called, near Massey University. There's another road which goes across the Paeatua track. That goes across as well. It's also notable that all of this mountain has a giant wind farm on it. There's a really huge wind farm because the wind blows through this gap in the two mountain ranges. You can see some of the wind turbines later in the video. Again, I'm just the light changed, and I thought there would be a better view there. Yes, there's a cross here. Those crosses were very common for a while, marking places where the roads were very dangerous. Now, I saw a fantail flying around here, so I tried to take some video of the fantail flying. They're called Piwakawika in Maori, and they're pretty cool. They're pretty cool birds. We had them on our farm when I was a kid. We had orchards, and you'd go for a walk through the orchard, and they'd follow you around. So this one was sort of following me around, because when you walk, you disturb the insects, and then they dart around and catch the small insects. So they're very fun, friendly little birds that like to follow you around if you're just having a walk. And then I walked back up to the car park. There's some opening hours for the car park there. Anybody can go up and you can take a look. Keep out of the construction site like I did, but you can see the thing, and there's that sign just giving you the warning about danger zones. There's some of the wind turbines that are peeping up over the hill. I'm up in the car park at this stage, so I'm a bit higher up, and you can see over the hill. So you can see this new road will go for a wander through the wind farm, which will be kind of fascinating. That might be fun for kids to take this drive. Take your children, and they might see all these wind turbines. You better talk to them how a lot of the electricity in New Zealand comes from wind turbines now. I think it's somewhere between 5 and 8%. Got settling ponds there. As always, all the New Zealand breeding projects are built with settling ponds because we don't want clay and dirt to run off into the rivers and damage the wildlife. Just around here, there's also a big road realignment to realign the road with the Ashhurst bridge that goes over the Manawatū River, and that's a underpass probably for cycles or a farm or walkway, and very near the end of the video now. Yeah, it's interesting. It's nice. It's nice. It's a pleasant place to go and have a look. Go up in the weekend when they're not working on it, and you can have a look. There's going to be a roundabout just built there a little bit further away, which will integrate the new road back with the highway network. And here's a view from the Ashhurst domain at some of the wind farm. And that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Take care. Have a nice day. Like and subscribe. All those things. Thanks for watching.